by Group Health Cooperative of South Central Wisconsin. Better together.
27 News WKOW. Here's what's happening right now.
Snow continues to fall across southern Wisconsin, and we've got team coverage for you as you head out the door.
And we'll explain how public health officials are working to make sure everyone can get a COVID-19 vaccine, even if they don't have a doctor. We've got you covered on this Tuesday, January 26th.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News. Wake up, Wisconsin.
All right, get those shovels ready. This is what most of our area is waking up to this morning. Snow-covered roads and sidewalks, making for a slow-moving and messy morning commute. Right now, the scene is clear after two semis crashed on I-39 southbound in Columbia County. It happened near Arlington at about 3:45 this morning. State Patrol said there were no injuries.
And Wisconsin State Patrol says the snowfall overnight likely caused this jackknifed semi-crash on the southbound lanes of I-3990 near Beloit. This crash happened around 2 a.m. No injuries were reported here as well. Right now, all lanes are back open. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this busy Tuesday morning. I'm Nick Buffa.
And I'm Rebecca Rively. We do have team coverage for you this morning. Max Paris is in the Storm Track Weather Center, and our Catherine Noel is on the roads with our photojournalist.
Let's start with Catherine right now. She has been out on the roads for us all morning. How are things looking by you?
Hey guys, good morning. We've been on the road since 4:30, and some things I've noticed: the highways have gotten a little bit better. Plows are now out in full force out there, but roads are definitely still snow covered. We've made our way from Cross Plains to Middleton to Verona, which is where we're at right now. And I'm going to change this for you real quick so you can see road conditions. So here's a look. Expect snow-covered roads out there, no matter where you're at. Even though plows are out there working hard, we still have a decent amount of snow coming down. Light to moderate snow, which changes within 5 minutes of your drive at times, making it harder to see. But this light to moderate snow just continues to fall back over the plow's work, as well as this blowing and drifting snow. So anything they have cleared, I've noticed, starts to get a little bit snowy once again. Because we have gusty winds and because we have this light powdery snow, it's just making treacherous drives for some of us. We've noticed in some areas that blowing and drifting really starts to increase, especially as more drivers hit the roads. We've seen that in the last 30 minutes or so. The good news is people are taking it slow. Most of the times people are going about 10, 20, even 30 at times miles under the speed limit. So I say, please, this morning, it is that kind of morning to leave early. It took me twice as long to get to work this morning, and it could be the same for you. Back to you guys.
All right, yeah, definitely something to take in account this morning as you're heading out the door. Max, what are you seeing on your systems?
We're still seeing widespread snow at this hour. Here's our live weather camera network across southern Wisconsin, showing those snow-covered roads, the Constellation Building over East Wash, showing that we do have completely snow-covered routes. Hard to see in between lane lines this morning, and that's why we want to factor in a lot of extra time. Snow continues to fall region-wide. Here's the last 12 hours on a loop as the snow got going overnight. Now still seeing those widespread snow showers before the system starts to exit midday, heading into the afternoon hours. Here's how it looks close up, and we still have a heavier band of moderate snow through Dodge and Dane County, stretching into Rock County and Walworth, too. We have a winter weather advisory continuing until noon today, and that's for the impacts of poor travel conditions. We've also added Columbia, Dodge, and Fond du Lac into this advisory. By 8 in the morning, still seeing widespread snow. Farther northward into central Wisconsin, lower impacts from lower snow totals. Therefore, the roads won't be as tough to travel. But by midday, we'll see a quieting trend with just a few more scattered light snow showers, and then we'll see this all exit through the afternoon. Maybe a couple breaks in the clouds, but notice we still have a breeze from the north. That'll cause for some blowing and drifting. Here's what to expect over the full forecast. We have tough travel, especially this morning, a sunnier, colder outlook to round out the rest of the week, and then another chance for snow this weekend. I'll have your full 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Max. And several cities have snow emergencies in effect right now because of this storm. That includes Beloit, Janesville, Marshall, Sun Prairie, and Stoughton. So that means the plows will be out. They're clearing the streets, and parking is restricted. We've posted a list on WKOW.com and what each emergency calls for.
And to keep updated on the latest conditions, make sure you download the 27 Storm Track weather app. It gives you an hour-by-hour forecast to help you plan your day. It'll also let you know about any school closures. So far, we have about 100 coming into our newsroom right now for up-to-the-minute updates. Make sure you tune in to Wake Up Wisconsin all throughout the morning. Well, just into the newsroom right now, Madison School District will be closing their facilities today. That means there will not be child care programs, in-person programming for special education, and all other MMSD and MSCR in-person activities. However, virtual instruction for all students will continue as scheduled.
27 News Time is 6:34. Today, the state Senate plans to vote on a resolution that would overturn the statewide mask mandate. 28 Republicans have signed on as co-sponsors. This weekend, the board of directors for the Wisconsin Medical Society voted to oppose the resolution and support the mask mandate. The state assembly is also in session today, but lawmakers there have not said if they'll vote on the measure.
In the meantime, public health departments are working to make sure people without a regular doctor can still get a COVID-19 vaccine. Public Health Madison and Dane County and Rock County Public Health have online registration forms. The forms are for people who are eligible for a vaccine but can't get one through a health system. A PHMDC spokesperson says filling out the form will put you on a waiting list, but it will not guarantee an immediate vaccine appointment.
I wouldn't expect an invite for a couple weeks until we can get through the rest of the Tier 1A list that we have to vaccinate before we can even move on to that next 65 plus or Tier 1B.
Rock County's vaccine coordinator says some people might be able to get a shot as early as this week if vaccine doses are available.
Day one of spring semester at UW-Madison also meant day one of new drop-in COVID testing. Students have to be tested twice per week. Most of the testing now uses saliva, which is quicker to administer and gets results back faster. The drawback is that you can't eat or drink an hour before that test. And now that they're drop-in instead of appointments, some students had to wait a while for tests yesterday.
We haven't eaten or drinking in the past 2 hours because we keep waiting online.
You really appreciate the patience and the persistence that folks are showing.
Students can track the results in a new app. University officials hope to find students who have COVID but no symptoms sooner. Right now, there are growing concerns about mutations of the coronavirus. A new variant of the virus has been found in Minnesota.
It comes as President Biden warns we could see 660,000 deaths in this country before we, quote, turn the corner. ABC's Kenneth Moden has the very latest.
This morning, another mysterious variant of the coronavirus has arrived in the U.S. A mutation first discovered in Brazil has now been detected in Minnesota. The state health department says the case involves a resident with recent travel history to Brazil.
Viruses change. That's what's known about viruses. That it's mutating is nothing new to science and nothing new to us.
Doctors say the coronavirus has mutated thousands of times, but 3 variants are being closely watched. The Brazilian variant found in Minnesota is said to be more contagious than the more common strains, and a variant that originated in England now spreading in at least 26 states. Officials warn that strain could also be more deadly.
They became convinced that it is in fact a bit more virulent, namely making it more difficult when you get to the point of serious disease and even death.
Doctors say the vaccines do work against the variants, but they're also tracking a mutation from South Africa that could be tougher for Moderna vaccines to fight. So the company is working on a booster shot as a precaution. The South African variant has not been detected in the U.S., but the Biden administration is now banning non-citizens traveling from that country, in addition to Brazil, England, Ireland, and 26 countries across Europe. And beginning today, a negative COVID test or proof of recovery from the virus will be required for all air travelers arriving in the U.S. In the meantime, the race to vaccinate Americans is still inching along. President Biden is now aiming to ramp up to 1.5 million doses per day, and he's hoping for widespread vaccinations by spring. But one of his top advisors says we may not see that until the fall.
I think this is going to take us into the fall. We got to get there before next winter.
The Biden administration invoked the Defense Production Act to expand vaccine production. But this morning, the largest maker of syringes says it doesn't have the capacity to increase supplies. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Kenneth, thank you. 27 News time is now 6:39. New this morning, 2 people are dead and another is hurt after a crash in Jefferson County last night. The Wisconsin State Patrol says it happened just after 7 p.m. on I-94 near County Highway O in Lake Mills. We are told the driver was going the wrong way in the eastbound lanes of the interstate when they hit another vehicle head-on. State Patrol says weather doesn't appear to be a factor for this crash, but the investigation is still ongoing this morning.
This morning, the Grand County Sheriff's Office says 1 more person is dead after a house fire in Blue River, making 3 total. The Sheriff's Office identified her as 14-year-old Barbara Hurley. Her 12-year-old brother, Frederick, and a family friend, Andrew Brown, also died in the fire. Sheriff Nate Derkman says that it's the deadliest house fire in his memory in Grant County, and it could have been worse without working smoke alarms.
Because in this case, it did wake up one of the adults, and he was able to get, some people out of the house. It's just unfortunate he wasn't able to get everybody, but he did save some lives with that smoke detector going off. So make sure you check yours and make sure they're functioning properly.
A candlelight vigil for the Hurley family is scheduled on Friday in Blue River. It will be across the street from the scene of the fire at 6 p.m.
A former wrestling coach in Clinton is now being charged with abusing 2 members of the team. Authorities say 36-year-old Tyler Clark was forceful with a wrestler, and the victim felt the contact was in a sexual nature. Clark resigned after his actions were reported to police. In court yesterday, he was given a signature bond.
Late last night, a tornado touched down near Birmingham, Alabama. We'll take you to the scene of the damage.
Plus, we've got you covered as the snow continues to impact travel in our area. Catherine Noel will have a closer look at the current conditions next. 27 News time is 6:41.
I want a reservation for 2 pair of glasses and an eye exam.
You can just walk in.